Joining us now, former FDA Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb, also on the board of Pfizer. Scott, we have got to start with J&J vaccine being paused. Let's look at the numbers. You have a better chance of being hit by lightning than developing blood clots from this vaccine. How concerned are you that this pause could erode public confidence in vaccines in general?
Well, look, I think if the process isn't handled well, it can erode public confidence. What you need is a very clear path for how we're going to bring this vaccine back. I do think this vaccine comes back to the market, perhaps with some more language in the label about who it should be used for and what doctors should be looking for these remote side effects. What FDA needs right now is a very clear process for how they're going to do that. The pause wasn't actually a regulatory action. It was a recommendation from the FDA to the states that are administering the vaccine to suspend use of the vaccine. So they never really took a formal regulatory action. One option here is for the FDA to take a formal regulatory action, put the vaccine on hold for a short period of time while they review the data and bring it before the FDA advisory committee. That would give them a very clear endpoint for when this vaccine could formally come back to the market, perhaps with some additional language in the label on what doctors should be mindful for. So you want a very clear process and a clear endpoint for this process. I think the challenge is we don't really have that right now because ACIP really isn't a regulatory body. They're a very good group. They administer the childhood vaccination schedule. They make recommendations about pediatric vaccinations primarily. That's their usual job before COVID. But they're not the FDA's advisory committee that regularly reviews this kind of safety data.
Vaccine hesitancy remains political. It shouldn't be. It's a public health issue. But just yesterday, the AP has a new report out showing that red states are lagging in vaccinations behind blue states. We saw Ivanka Trump post a picture of herself on Instagram getting vaccinated, encouraging others to do the same. And what did the comments show? No, hell no, disappointed in you. Why would I want Bill Gates tracking me? How do you counter this type of vaccine resistance? It all stems from disinformation being poured to millions of Americans.
Look, it's going to be difficult, and that's why I think we're going to get to a point where supply is going to exceed demand. We'll probably get 150 or 160 million Americans vaccinated, but once we get beyond that point, I think it's going to become more difficult. I'm not saying we don't get beyond that. We will, but we're going to have to chip away at it. We're going to have to find different ways to administer the vaccine to distribute it because people probably, once you hit 150 or 160 million Americans, they're not going to be lining up anymore. That's going to pretty much exhaust the really aggressive demand. And so, you're going to have to push it out through the big box stores, make it easier for people to get vaccinations, make it so people could just sort of walk up and get vaccine, push it out through doctors' offices so people can get it through people that they have a relationship with, intermediaries who they have a relationship with. That's how we're going to get the numbers up. I don't think that we ever get, anywhere near the whole population vaccinated. Maybe we'll peak out at 170 million adults, maybe a little bit more than that if we really chip away at it. That's probably enough from a public health standpoint. It's unfortunate some people are going to forego vaccination because we know these vaccines are effective. But I think you're right. There is a group of people in this country who are reluctant to get the vaccine, in some cases for their own personal considerations, in some cases for political considerations, and we're never going to pierce everyone.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.